We should be in a happy mood. It's a Friday, right? Paulie, of course, usually isn't. He's got a mean-spirited poll question. Paulie, you want to unleash your mean-spirited poll question? We're 8 minutes into this program today, and we're skewing mean.
I preface this by saying no offense, and I'm a fan of Taysom Hill as a football player.
Okay.
I think he's a very interesting and impactful football player.
Just give us the poll question.
What is the worst sports experiment ever? Taysom Hill at quarterback, the XFL, Fox's glowing puck with hockey, Michael Jordan playing baseball, or other? I'm laying it on thick because
Wow.
I don't think this is the right move as a franchise.
Well, okay. Either commit to Taysom Hill or not. Now, you've committed financially. Commit to him. That's it. I know he's, been in concussion protocol, but just commit to him. See if you have Lamar Jackson light. You got a fascinating talent there. Here is Taysom Hill assessing what went wrong last night in the loss to the Cowboys.
I'm not going to rush to any conclusions, having not seen the tape or anything, but I feel like we did some things really well tonight, and then we did some things really poorly. Obviously, it's tough to win a game when you turn the ball over 4 times. That's really what jumps out.
Coming into this season, the big concern with the Cowboys was going to be their defense because they certainly struggled on that side of the ball in 2020. And they were hoping that Micah Parsons coming in, you hire defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, you got a really good cornerback in Trayvon Diggs, and you're thinking, if you get any kind of defense, Dallas with that offense is going to be a Super Bowl contender. And they might be, but the defense feels like it's holding up its end of the bargain, and the offense is not. And I'm not making this out to be this is doomsday defense in Dallas because they've struggled, but you do have 2 great players on the other side of the ball. You got a guy who can get after the quarterback, and you have a shutdown corner. They're young, they're inexpensive, and with Micah Parsons there, what's going to be curious is how he is labeled, because he came in as a linebacker. You want to be an edge rusher because your salary is comparable to your position. And if you're an edge rusher, now all of a sudden you go, I want TJ Watt money. That's how this works. As a linebacker, who are you going to be compared to? Bobby Wagner? Luke Kuechly? Even though he doesn't play anymore? That's not where you make your money. As an edge rusher, you do. But Micah Parsons was fascinating because there were concerns with him at Penn State. Great athlete. Nobody questioned that. Size-wise, there was some concerns. But you come in to the NFL as a linebacker, and people at the time said, well, you don't spend a first-round pick on a linebacker. But he was not. This is where you draft somebody and you say, oh, you're a linebacker. No, you're drafting a football player. That's who he is. Because if you look back, Troy Polamalu was just a football player. Ed Reed, just a football player. Brian Urlacher played safety in college. You're drafting guys because they're football players. And Micah Parsons is just that. He's a great football player. It's not, here's your designation, you're a linebacker. I always go back, Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was always fascinating because he was a great player, athletic, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he just had an innate ability to get to the quarterback. And I don't know if somebody said, well, he's an edge rusher, he's a linebacker. Lawrence Taylor didn't have a position. Lawrence Taylor was, this is what I want to do on this play. And Micah Parsons is that kind of player. He is a disruptor. And when your guy is faster than anybody on their side of the ball, that's a real distinct weapon. And then you throw in Diggs, who has 9 interceptions this year. Those are the kind of players who can keep you in games or win you games in the playoffs. The offense is still what concerns me because that should be a great offense. And I didn't think it was great offense. Without those 4 interceptions, we might be talking about something different here. Dak has still not played great. I've said for a long time, Pollard to me makes more sense than Zeke does, but they signed him up to that, second contract. Pollard is really good. But you got CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. now's the time where you got a couple of divisional games coming up, Giants and the Washington football team. I wouldn't be surprised if they get picked off by one of those two teams coming up. But no, you're trying to figure this team out. And we're trying to figure out everybody. Like Green Bay has been injured. How good are they? Tampa Bay, now no Antonio Brown, suspended for 3 games for lying about his vaccination card. Arizona, you all in on Arizona? The Rams got them figured out. Like, there's questions with everybody here, certainly in the NFC. But Dallas should be great. I mean, you don't have that much competition in the division. I mean, is Washington capable of being good? Yes. The Giants capable? Yeah. But you got to dominate. And they should be having home field advantage. And they're not going to. And then you're going to be on the road. And then that just sort of exacerbates what your issues are. You don't want to go to Green Bay. You don't. Not in January, late January. And that's where Dallas could be headed. But I'm watching this team, and I keep thinking, what are they missing? Got everything. They do offensively. I mean, I'm not the biggest Mike McCarthy fan. Dan Quinn stepped in as the head coach. But that team should be great. With these two defensive players and that offense, they should be great. And they're not. And I think that's what's surprising. Do you know the draft comp for Micah Parsons? A fellow linebacker, played on the West Coast college-wise. Yes, Paulie?
I was going to go Roquan Smith when he was at Georgia.
Okay.
Speed guy.
Okay.
At linebacker.
All right. Miles Jack, UCLA. That was the comp. Yeah, McLovin.
Miles Jack, 6.5 sacks in 6 years. So I don't think
he's already surpassed Miles Jack. Yep. He's got, 10 sacks already this year?
Miles Jack's not making it about himself. He's a team guy.
I like that. Okay. All right.